I have not gotten a chance to, and I feel bad for not doing this. Really listen to
immediate access to
whoops, shut up. To Andrew Giuliani's argument about why his dad was wronged. Right? He was righted and wronged. He's on OAN. You know, we'll keep it the theme. I don't know what the hell. Why is their page all like they can't get their OAN? Why can't you get your format size uniform? What is wrong? Why is it? What's this bullshit on either side of these videos? It upsets me as a Libra. It's aesthetically bullshit. But we've already heard that Alan Dershowitz, Mr. You can leave your tidy whities on, has already said that lawyers can't be. You can't do a warrant to search a lawyer's office ever. Because attorney-client privilege. So, congratulations, mob. Alan Dershowitz is your boy. So
we all heard the news about
yo, he's so dead.
Last week's raid, and now we see major media outlets retracting lies they spread about your father and about
the one that he was warned. By the way, when you keep hearing this, they're retracting all these lies. They're retracting lies about Giuliani. The one they're talking about is that allegedly someone told either the New York Times or the Washington Post, I don't know who posted it first, that the FBI warned Giuliani early on. A source within there said that he and Ron Johnson were both told they were the target of Russian disinfo. They were. The dispute is whether or not they were told or whether they gave a shit or whether they would give a shit. Because do any of us think that the FBI went to them and went, by the way, you're the target of Russian disinfo? They go, who do you work for? The Clintons?
About our network over the weekend. So what's the latest on your situation currently?
Your situation or your dad's situation?
Yeah, look, I mean, I think
Did you ever get your iPad back?
latest is we've seen these 3 retractions here from the New York Times, the Washington.
All about the same story? Did they retract the part about, did your dad retract the part about him saying that they kicked in his door? Oh, yeah, he had to do that live.
Post and NBC News. And the fact that they would slander not just my father, not just the former president of the United States lawyer, but also a fellow media outlet the way that they would is just absolutely absurd. And it shows you the relationship that the Justice Department now has to the leftist media. I mean, really, you mentioned projection before. You're absolutely right. They do project what they actually do onto.
So the New York Times were targeted with Russian propaganda and disinfo, and the FBI told them that they were, and they ignored it? What are you talking about? Thank you, Francie, for the super chat.
Onto conservatives,
Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't subscribed, and you're on the twitch.tv house parts, okay?
Anybody associated with Donald Trump. But what also happens is you have the media.
Anybody associated with Donald Trump? I don't think so. Nobody's cuffing up Ben Carson.
Reporting sources from the Justice Department, and the Justice Department is politically motivated. So basically, the media is using the credibility of the Justice.
You mean they were politically motivated when they were protecting your dad? They weren't then, but they are now?
Justice Department, to the people who are listening, and the Justice Department is using the credibility of CNN and MSNBC and
something they have, you don't? I see.
And the New York Times, which, believe it or not, still has some credibility for some people.
Yeah, for most people. Yeah, vast majority of people. We're on planet Earth. Hello, moon base asshole.
People in America. And because of that, what you end up happening is this snowball of corruption that both the media and the Justice Department are currently in the midst of. And unfortunately, we Americans are left having to pick up the pieces and looking more like a banana republic than we are actually a free society with a free press.
Okay, nothing was said there. I mean, it's gibberish. Oh, thank you. Yay. Patreon. Thank you so much. You can now be a patron annually. Just saying. You don't have to do it monthly. You can do it for the whole year. Blink, blink. All right.
And this is exactly the same way as you were describing about the relationship with these leaks from the intel community to the media to politicians and how they all
Well, you can't leak a lie. Remember what we said. You can't leak a lie. So if something was incorrect, it wasn't leaked by anyone. And so you can't blame the intel community or the FBI or anybody like that for saying something that wasn't true if it turns out that they didn't actually say that, or the person that did say it didn't have any the connections they said they did, because that's not the fault of the FBI or the intel community or the Department of Justice if a reporter lied about what they had heard or not heard what they thought they heard. That's not everybody else's fault.
echo each other. So it seems like they're all coming to these conclusions independently, but they're not. They're all using the same
Conservatives in the crosshairs.
Unverified anonymous hearsay to attack their political opponents. It's exactly what we saw.
Unverified anonymous hearsay? You mean like the existence of the Hunter Biden laptop, which I still call bullshit on? Andrew, hold it up. You still got it. They didn't take it from your dad, right? What's it look like? Hold it up. Show it to America. Don't print out 6 pieces of paper from a copy of a hard drive that you have that's not even in a case, or that is for some odd reason. Who took it out? When they removed the hard drive, who did it, Andrew? You, the guy at the repair shop? Who removed it from the laptop and put it in an external casing so that it could be accessed and protected? What kind of cabling system do you have set up there? Is it USB-C? What happened there? Oh, thank you guys. Level 2 hype train.
The same playbook from 2016, how they went after President Trump. And now, of course, it's Biden back in office. He was the wingman to Obama when all this Spygate, Russiagate nonsense was going back.
There was no Spygate.
Was going on. And
Russiagate wasn't a gate at all. It was an actual Russiagate in terms of like Watergate in terms of Trump. Yeah, like that was his Russiagate, not the fact that, well, I mean, let Jimmy Dore tell you how Russiagate, the word, actually means the evil Democrats going after poor Donald Trump.
Of course, all those old cronies are once again back at the DOJ, the state.
And they're not being stopped from continuing their investigations like they were when his dad's boss was running the place. Why are we listening to this asshole again?
Department, all these other departments.
Hey, thank you, Ninka Crinkles. Gifting 5 tier 1 subs. Thank you so much. Hype train.
And interestingly enough, the feds raid your father's apartment, but what they don't take is Hunter Biden's laptops.
What laptop? What laptop? Have you seen it? I mean, Andrew loves this story. He thinks it works. What laptop? What multiple hard drives are you talking about? Why is your dad copying child porn and keeping multiple copies of it? Why is your father interfering with the chain of evidence in such a way that if the evidence was ever sought to be used in a criminal complaint, it could not?
You have to talk to me about that.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing. So
No, it isn't. They had a warrant for communication devices and electronics. That's why they didn't take the fucking Keurig.
come in at 6 o'clock in the morning after, over the past 18 months, my father had offered 3 different times
To come in and say, I'll bring all the electronic shit I have, sure. I'll bring all my burner phones that I use the ones I keep in a drawer from when I go to Ukraine. Yeah, I brought them all. Don't go in my house. Trust me.
to basically answer questions that were unrelated to his representing the president of the United States, right? Obviously, it's privileged information. But
No, it isn't. No, it isn't. No. Your father is not protected by privilege around anything to do with his travel anytime in Ukraine, his speaking to any Ukrainian officials, his relaying of conversations that he had with Ukrainian officials to Donald Trump, or anything that Donald Trump told him to tell Ukrainian officials. It is part of the Official Records Act because according to your fucking moron father, he was acting on behalf of the State Department. I mean, I showed this crap yesterday. And I put this out there, and I don't know why people aren't, like, recognizing this. You done, son. You done. The minute he said this and offered this as an explanation, and if at any time last year or the year before he said this to a government official in the State Department or an FBI agent that came and asked him questions about it, if he repeated that lie, all of his attorney-client privilege bullshit goes out the window. Because in terms of Ukraine, he was acting on behalf of the State Department. I don't know how the hell people miss this. How? He's your dad. Keep track of the bullshit that he is saying. How about level 5 hype train? Thanks very much, guys. Bits and cheers and all that kind of stuff. And thank you on Facebook for the stars as well. Hi, everybody. Okay, here we go. Hiding this again. Sorry, as soon as that asshole told the public that he worked for the State Department, he has no protection. And by the way, remember how Trump was like, if I want to declassify something, I can declassify anything I want? Same thing is true of Biden. So if Biden shares any information that he was involved with the DOJ or the FBI or anything like that, or even the public, that's his prerogative of president, as president, according to Donald Trump. And Rudy Giuliani is such an egomaniac and an idiot that he thinks he's going to walk away from this.
But they come in at 6 o'clock in the morning.
I'm sorry, what time do you normally get up?
They take 2 phones, they take an iPad, and they're about to take a hard drive. And my father mentioned...
They're about, excuse me? They're about to, listen, guys, this is the narrative changing. This isn't what Rudy Giuliani said. Watch Andrew Giuliani change the story to make it worse to benefit his father. And to, by the way, by exaggerating this story further, slander the FBI. This asshole lied about how the FBI treated him and what he said to them. And his son is about to make it worse, meaning that when the FBI said, no, we're not interested in those hard drives, whatever the hell they are, because we don't have a warrant for those things. We only have a warrant for communication devices, because this has to do with verifying what's on your cloud and seeing if you have burner phones and another iPad and a separate laptop for these communications, because you're so stupid you put dual accounts on some stuff, and we found out that you have other devices because we can look at the device code on each of them, you know, like Mike Lindell thinks he's doing in China using fucking whatever. Anyways,
mentions that it's Hunter Biden, and they said, no, that's okay. We don't want it. Like it had the China virus or something.
Yeah, it's hilarious. By the way, it doesn't exist. Those weren't Hunter Biden's hard drives. They're fakes. They have nothing to do with anything. He's lying. His dad's lying. The FBI agents never said that. Prove me wrong. They are slandering FBI agents. These 7 FBI agents, according to these 2 assholes, are engaged in criminality and are acting as political mercenaries for the current administration when they did nothing of the sort. Think about this. This is the Republican Party. These are Republican stalwarts. Glory hole.
Like that. No. So
yeah, he's quoting his dad.
Look, anybody who's watching OAN, if the FBI ever raids your home, just say that everything is Hunter Biden's. I would say if
everybody smokes crack and takes a nap. Yeah. Rudy can spot a deep fake.
Burglar comes in, try it with the burglar.
Oh my God, he's sitting in bed smoking a cigarette. You take that cigarette out, you might think it's one of Don Jr.'s videos. Guys, I'm sitting here trying to find an angle that makes my chin look smaller.
Maybe they won't steal something if you say it's Hunter Biden's. They'll just...
Whoa! Maybe they won't steal something. So the FBI are thieves now.
Say no thank you. I mean, again, doesn't it just show how politically motivated this is? If that does...
I'm sorry. I can't really see that picture very well, but apparently he's wearing a jean jacket and no shirt. So I don't know when Hunter Biden toured with Loverboy, but it wouldn't surprise me if he did. But in that drawer, are there 4 packs of green Sudafed from Europe that if you crush and snort, it gives you a meth-like effect? Oh, sorry, that was Trump's taco bowl picture.
Doesn't tell you this is politically motivated.
Smoking in the tub. Obviously trying to avoid a fire hazard. Covering his nipples because he's a lady.
Then I'm sorry, your eyes aren't open.
And what do you make of the accusations in the first place? Because as your father said, he's made it very clear in his work and in his contracts that he doesn't do work for foreign agents, for foreign...
Yeah, he's lying. Yeah, that's why when you lie about that shit, that's when the FBI shows up at your door.
foreign countries or anything of that sort.
Oh, Hunter looks like he...
Yeah, he was defending the president of the United States. And you, on your network, you certainly understand that as well as anybody.
Why? How is he defending the United... He's defending himself.
I mean, you know, you had, as you mentioned in your monologue, Chanel went over there with my father to kind of lay things out 18.
Ew. She did what?
Months ago. I mean, the truth.
And what did they do? They came back with an alleged hard drive that cost him $5 million that was on sale last year or the year before for, now it's 2018, for $3 million.
My father came across information as he was defending the president of the United States. I would say exculpatory information. I think leftists in the media would certainly try to hide that, but it was
hide what?
Exculpatory information.
No, it wasn't. It was Russian disinfo. He was working with Dmitry Firtash.
And it came across him as the president's lawyer. I don't know what.
No, sorry. He might have at one point used that as a defense, but that shit is over. Sorry, that your defense is in the turlet. Sorry. It doesn't fly. It's not going to fly. It's over. This kid is despicable.
What is a lawyer supposed to do with exculpatory information? Are they supposed to say we're just not going to look into that?
You present it in a trial if necessary. You bring it, you present it, and by the way, he brought all that shit back. They didn't present it in the impeachment hearing. Why not? Why didn't they? They told it to the press, and they tried to make a little movie on OAN, but they didn't take it to Congress. Why not? 'Cause it's a fucking lie. And if you lie to the press, you can get away with it. Rudy does it all the time. Andrew Giuliani does it all the time. But if you do it in front of Congress, you're in deep shit. If you lie on a form like that, if you take this kind of information and you lie about it, then you end up with but 7 guys at your door.
No, of course you have to. That's how you represent your client, especially the president of the United States.
His client was not the president of the United States. His client was Rudy Giuliani. He was working for himself. He was aligning himself with Trump for the power that it gave him, and then he was over in Ukraine making energy deals on his own.
You recently wrote an op-ed as well. I saw it at the Washington Examiner, likening a lot of this to what we saw under Stalin and the Soviets and how they did these sham show trials. Is that similar?
Jesus. Law and order.
Similar to what we're seeing now?
I mean, it was certainly on the path to it. It feels...
No, we're not. Not at all.
I mean, this feels like what happens in a banana republic, you know?
I don't know why the fuck they think that's... I mean, other than the obvious racial overtones of it, why they think they're selling that.
It doesn't feel like this is what happens in America. If you go after the former president's attorney when there's privileged information, as you mentioned...
There is none. There is no privileged information. None. None of what Rudy Giuliani did in Ukraine for the president of the United States qualifies as privileged legal information. None. It's all he must be responsive to the National Records Act or whatever it's called. He has to present all of his communications as if he's a subcontractor or on a mission for the State Department. They have, even if it was ultimately classified, he still has no right to hide it. The whole crowd of people hanging out the next night.
Mentioned before, and as my father revealed, is they actually hacked into his iCloud in 2019 while
They didn't hack into his iCloud. They got a warrant for his iCloud.
he was representing the President of the United States.
No, he wasn't. According to his own interview, and he said his phone. He held up his phone. The proof is right here. Can I see that phone? No, it's a violation of my rights. But you said the proof is right there.
I mean, this certainly feels like a tactic that Stalin would use.
Dude, a bag and a bullet is a tactic that Stalin would use. Your dad's getting due process, you fucking weakling.
I think America is redeemable. I think we can get back.
Based on what? The FBI apparently are shock troops for the wokosphere.
To where we have an independent Justice Department. I think this goes back to Barack Obama and Eric Holder. And as you mentioned, Joe Biden was certainly vice president, knew what was going on then. I don't know if he knows what's going on now, but his team certainly knows what's going on now.
That's a joke about him being old and not knowing what's happening because he's got a stutter. And so just in case you're not keeping up on the ageism jokes.
It needs to stop. The Justice Department needs to be independent again. And
They are. That's why he didn't know about the raid. He just said, you guys follow the leads where they go. If you don't find anything at the end of the trail, that's on you. I'm not going to pressure
And
you.
I know my father certainly feels that way as somebody
Of course he does now.
who was the youngest associate attorney general ever, the greatest U.S. attorney in the history, not just of the Southern
At least, the Russian and Chinese mob certainly think so.
District of New York, but in our country. I know he longs for the days that the Justice Department was independent of politics.
By the way, I don't know, no word on whether or not Will Ferrell will be playing Andrew Giuliani in upcoming sketches. I mean, how does that not happen? Ha 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 ha!